From one chronically struggling franchise to another, and they had a joke on Weekend Update, and I'm going to butcher it. I'm not going to get it even close to verbatim, but it went like this. They found a 10,000-year-old scoreboard that was used by the Mayans at some archaeological dig, and when they dusted it off, the score was Mayans 24, Jets nothing. The New York Jets still trying to turn around. You're not even giving me a courtesy chuckle. What? Not even something. I can't get anything out of you for that. I didn't completely destroy it the way I thought I was going to. I should at least get something for that. Maybe the joke wasn't funny, right? Maybe that's it.
It was all right.
I didn't write the joke.
It was all right.
Maybe it wasn't funny.
It was good.
Anyway, I'm trying to come up with a segue here. We're going from one crap team to another crap team. This one is at least trying to emerge from the crap by eventually trading for Aaron Rodgers, and last year they were promising. They were on a trajectory that was suggestive of a playoff berth until it all fell apart. I think the moment Breece Hall suffered his ACL tear week 7 or thereabouts, that's when it really started to become complicated for the Jets.
Right.
But there's a question that emerged over the weekend, and I understand this time of year it's slow, and those of us in the business of talking about football have to find things to talk about. But there's been this reporting, speculation, whatever, that the Jets made a competitive offer for Odell Beckham Jr. How close were they to signing him? Chris, look, I apply common sense to situations like this. If it was even remotely close, he would have taken the visit last Monday. The Ravens came in and blew the doors off to get him to not even go to see the Jets. If it was a matter of $1 million here or $500,000 there, he plays one against the other, he goes to see the Jets, and he tries to get it done that way.
Right.
My guess, and it's a guess based on doing this for 23 years, is the Ravens made him a call and said, here's the offer, and we'll pay it to you, and you know you can't go to the Jets. We're not letting you get in the building there and have them possibly try to convince you to sign for less or whatever. You want to come here, here's the number, take it or leave it. And it was far more than what the Jets were willing to do, and he took it. It's just a no-brainer to me. I don't think it was close for the Jets at all. Just by virtue of the fact, as we discussed last week, in Baltimore, he becomes the number 1 receiver. He would have been number 3 at best with the Jets.
Yeah, right. He'd have been, part of the group with the Jets. Exactly right. Now he can be the guy in Baltimore. So there's definitely that aspect on the field. No question has value there. Now, like close or whatever, I mean, hey, this is all, let's just say this. Do I think the Jets wanted Odell Beckham Jr.? Yes, I do. Right. Not at $15 million a year, but do I think they really wanted him? Of course they did. I mean, they met with him in Arizona, and they were going to meet with him again in New York. So there was a want there. And I think, by all due accounts, Odell Beckham Jr. had real interest there. So there was a real wanting to make this happen. Now, was it close? That's a different story, like you're saying. No, the Baltimore Ravens, contract offer was, it blew people out of the water. Everybody in the football was talking about it, like, whoo, man, that's crazy. Whoa, they threw that kind of money out there for OBJ, right? It's risky as far as how his GMs think. But, yeah, they blew him out of the water, and I think you're right by that. They went there, and once that offer got thrown out, they said, forget, you're not going to New York tomorrow, not with this offer we're making. And Odell Beckham Jr. couldn't turn down that type of money and that guarantee. So, yeah, I do think the Jets and Rodgers wanted him. I think OBJ probably wanted to be there too. But this just made more sense in all ways, and now he's a Baltimore Raven, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Do you think if all things were equal, the offers were the same, do you think he would have gone to the Jets? Factoring in that those incentives, that $3 million is tied to production, yards, catches, touchdowns. I'm not so sure he gets those in New York, or at least he's not as likely to get them in New York as he would be in Baltimore. But just look at the $15 million guaranteed. If it was just that much, do you think he would have gone to the Jets over the Ravens?
I feel like I want to say yes. I do, just because there's just too many questions, right? I think if it was apples to apples, I'd go, yeah, he'd go to the Jets, even though he might not be the man, but might not be the man might be better than not having a man throwing you the football at quarterback, let alone an offensive coordinator that's, you're going, well, I don't know how this is going to work in the NFL and everything here. I mean, I know he's been there before, Todd Monken, but of course it's a new team and a new way they do stuff there in Baltimore. So, and even though part of the group, Mike, and I think you would agree with this because this is what you were kind of talking about when we were talking about Hopkins and OBJ a minute ago. Okay, you sign on to the group if the contracts are apple to apple. Are we that crazy to think that, like, in week 6 that, like, we might all come to the determination along with the Jets and go, hey, Garrett Wilson's good, but Odell Beckham Jr. is better. He's the man. They're going to throw to him more. He's the guy. I don't think it's that crazy to have that thought, right? So I think if it was even, he'd have gone to the Jets, but that money was just too damn good to turn down Baltimore.
And there's the whole New York, L.A. thing. He does have a bigger city vibe.
Right.
And it was funny. He was asked on Thursday about what it's like for him to play in a town like Baltimore after playing most of his career in New York and L.A. And he said, well, I did play in Cleveland, too. So, I mean, and it didn't go well. But that's the thing. That was the unspoken follow, the unasked question. He wasn't reminded of the fact that he really didn't want to be in Cleveland. He was resentful of the fact that Dave Gettleman, the former GM of the Giants, dumped him onto Cleveland without even letting him know. Remember, he was like in France or somewhere, and he gets the phone call.
Right.
Yeah, that he'd been traded to the Browns. Like,
it seemed personal.
That's the difference between quarterback and non-quarterback. You can't do that to a starting quarterback because the new team needs the starting quarterback to be all in. With the non-quarterback, they just move them around like pieces on a checkerboard. They just do it. They don't think twice about it. If you don't like it, don't play. If you don't like it, pay back your signing bonus money.
That's right.
If you don't like it, walk away.
Right.
We're still doing this trade. We're not going to consult with you ahead of time. And that's exactly what the Giants did to the Browns. And I think that was the mistake from the Browns standpoint. I think they made plenty of mistakes with Beckham. But I think mistake number one, make sure this guy's
he
all
wants
in
to be there, right?
Before you trade for him.
Exactly right, right.
Make sure he wants to be there. Make sure that your quarterback, that the town is big enough for both guys. From the moment he was traded, I thought the town's not big enough for Baker Mayfield and OBJ, and I think that turned it out, as the case may be.
It did turn it out right. You're right there.
Turned it out. It turned it out pretty good. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.